Hi, everybody. It is Judge Jeanine, and we are just coming off of the Danny Penny verdict of not guilty. I have found that that particular verdict says a lot more than just a verdict about one case. I think it says a lot about America. So joining me today is Paul Stone, who's the CEO of the Colonial Metals Group.
Hi.
Hi, and you are, aside from being the CEO of Colonial Metals, I mean, you know more about history, I think, than anyone I know. You know, Danny Penny was this Marine, and he's very shy. He didn't want any applause, he didn't want any accolades, but he had courage at a time when it mattered. You know, he made a decision to help other people. How do you see that?
Yeah, he already possessed the doctrine that he'll be in a role in life and he'll spend his time serving others, protecting others, and going where others don't want to go or can't go, right? Like firefighters. They run into the burning building, everyone else is running out. And a situation presented itself, and he has code and he has honor, and he saw, he saw a situation that might have taken his freedom away from him, but it was still the right thing to do. It was what he was trained to do. It's what his country has asked him to do, and he did it. And that's what makes him exceptional, where most people might have just stayed looking at their phones.
Yeah. Or, you know, a lot of people have told me that, you know, they might have just kind of backed up, looked down, and then ran out of the car. But there's something about a Marine. There's something about a Marine, and you talk about this a lot, Paul, is courage. And Danny Penny had the training of a Marine, but he had the courage of a lion. He knew that he was being confronted with deadly physical force. There was no question in his mind. And he was, in fact, when he engaged Jordan Neely, he said the power that Jordan Neely had, the strength that he had, was overwhelming. He said, and I'm a guy who actually, you know, I swim every day. I'm a Marine. He's in good shape. Yeah. But Neely was fired up.
Yeah. And, it's just an amazing spectacle of what humans are capable of. I come on camera and am so blessed to be able to work with you and others to spread a message. There's a message in what he offers all of us. One, I don't believe there are exceptional people. I think that there's ordinary people that do extraordinary things, and we're all made of the same stuff. We're all made of the same stuff. The same iron that floats through your blood is the same as the core of this planet, right? We are magical creatures, and we lose sight getting wrapped up in the drama and the trauma of the political world and the news world and everything we think that's going wrong. And we need to start living where our feet are. And that's what he did, where he was aware, he was present, he wasn't checked out. He was sharp with principles, and he was able to make moves that overwhelmed a force that was perceivably stronger than him, and he's the champion of it.
And, you know, perceivably stronger and directed at other people.
Yes.
He did it for other people. It wasn't directed at him until he himself got involved. But that courage causes people to make decisions that they might not know is inside of them.
That's right.
Until they're confronted with, a trauma of some sort. And I think the same thing holds true for people in life. You know, what causes people to make a decision? I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to stop doing what I do every day, and I'm going to make a decision, do something different.
Look at, in our business, we can talk to thousands of people a day that have been in waiting mode for a long time. And what is it they're waiting for? They're waiting for that magical amount of information that's going to cause them to finally make the decision, but that's not how it works. That's not what he was waiting on. He wasn't waiting to see bloodshed first, and then he was going to act.
Yeah.
I think the biggest smile that crosses God's face is when he sees his kids act with courage. That's the moment. And what it means is not waiting, because in the subconscious, I think you're kind of just finding a great way to make the exit from having to take an action that might scare you or an action that would require courage by justifying and saying, I don't have enough information yet.
Yeah.
And that's all hooey, because we have enough information. The reasons to own gold and silver, to move some portion of your savings into gold and silver, will require you to find courage. And at Colonial Metals Group, we want to be the ally that helps you identify that's exactly where you're stuck.
Yeah.
Because the numbers continue to worsen. The money continues to be printed. Global debt around the world, government debt continues to climb. It's $303 trillion. Does that sound like governments anywhere know what they're doing?
No.
And so when they print that money, it kills the money you already have. If you said, well, what's illegal immigration do? You know, it takes jobs away from others, and it puts a bigger cost on the economy, and there's no production to offset that, right? So when you print money, it's like illegal immigration. You're bringing dollars into the system from outside the system that dilutes the potency of the dollars that are already here.
I never looked at it that way. That is so true, so clever.
Right.
And so then people, if they just make no decision and continue in that, down the road that they're on without making a decision because they're afraid, they're uninformed, or they're too lazy, they suffer in the end.
They do. And so not choosing to take an act is still a choice.
Yeah.
Choosing to act is also a choice.
A good
but
choice.
It's a choice that you get to own. It's a choice where all of your DNA and all of your blood vessels and everything's pumping, and you are alive in that moment.
Yep.
And that's what I see when I talk to I'm spending my career talking to mostly retirees, is the government has come in between us.
Yeah.
And they've caused, I'm sad to say, people to go to sleep. People to just drift. They're just drifting through the rest of their lives. And this is a moment where you can say, this is my money. They're killing the value of my money by printing it without my permission, harming Americans, harming retirees by causing this inflation and the jobs to go away. And I mean, I just wrote a Substack on China that said, China made in America. China's GDP, I'm always wanting to talk about the decision-making of the government. Not that they're bad people, but that the system itself is the only thing it's effective in doing is causing havoc and problems.
Yep.
China's GDP, so they have Tiananmen Square. The government made a decision. They're going hardcore. They're going to take American money. Their GDP in 1990 was $330 billion. We had 66 billionaires in our country at the time we decided to finance them. They're now at 17.5 trillion GDP, and we couldn't even make them a friend. Like, we went to a communist country, said, we're going to use your workforce, we're going to enrich your people, we're going to give you all kinds of gifts and bells and whistles you could never achieve on your own, and you never even wanted. China never participated with the world. They lived behind their wall. Japan kicked their butts twice in 2 wars. They couldn't defend themselves, and we made them give the land back. That's why, there was some angst for Pearl Harbor. But when you look at what China was, it's now our manufacturing base. 75,000 manufacturing firms have closed their doors in this country since 1990. That's 23 manufacturing firms per every county in this country.
That is amazing.
It's disgusting. And our government decided that all of that was okay.
I really believe that a lot of this, when people are in government, they don't care. They don't treat it like it's their money.
Yeah, no.
They're in there to make money. I mean, I'm so tired of seeing Congress people, senators, leave richer, 10 times richer than when they came in.
Yeah, they flip around and become lobbyists.
Yes. Well, it's not only that. They're making money with investments. Nancy Pelosi, how much has she made? Lynn Cheney, she was there for, I think, 3 terms. She quadrupled her money. Yeah. What was she doing? She makes $150 a year or whatever it was. Yeah. So they're not looking out for us.
No.
So we have to look out for ourselves.
And that's what we have to wake up to. We can't serve 2 masters. Neither can the government. We aren't there whispering in their ear Monday through Friday about what our county needs to improve things or what our state needs to improve things. The lobbyists are there Monday through Friday whispering in their ear.
Yep, they are.
And so I'm not saying everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be growing their lives, growing their pocketbooks, growing their achievements. It's just that by the design of government without term limits, that beast is going to be something that now looks at us as the problem.
Yeah.
I heard a proposal in, maybe it was England, I was on a show last week, that there could be a government incentive for you to talk your parents into signing off at 70.
What does that mean, signing
Just,
off?
a little shot, and you go off and meet your maker. Yeah, to help slow global warming. Yep, to help slow global warming.
Where is this?
It was put to me by a host who's out of England, the People's Voice, and he asked me what I thought about that, and I said, "Is that for real?" And he said, "It's got some serious mentionings."
Yeah, well,
it's not coming before the House of Commons anytime soon.
Well, let's hope not. But
just the mindset.
The mentality.
Notice that
The mentality.
You're the problem. we're
Yeah.
the reason for global warming. No,
Yeah.
it's the printing press.
Yeah.
You know, and Mother Earth's going to solve global warming when these economies all crash, when their dollars are all worthless, because we will not be spending the carbon like we used to.
Yep.
As this Niagara Falls amount of money just pours into our economy, like illegal immigration, ruining the dollars that are already here. The dollars that 60, 70, 80-year-old worked their ass off, their whole life off to save some away.
Yeah.
It's getting rotten under the surface. So when you one day need to count on that, it might not be there because it's in something that's being destroyed.
And they have no idea how much it's being devalued. They just think, okay, I have this much money, that should be enough. And it's not, because it's devalued.
Right.
And, the amazing thing is this guy, who goes after the insurance company, the CEO, he shoots him because he's got a problem with the insurance company. All right. Now, this guy makes a decision, and then you've got everybody. You've got a lot of people out there saying, yeah, those insurance companies are no good. Yeah, they deserved it, and they're applauding this. And you say to yourself, we can't have people like this not only committing murder, it's a straight up murder, but with a part of our society saying, yeah, I think the healthcare companies are corrupt. This guy deserved to die. And the connection to this case to what we're talking about is, the people that just go along with the corruption and they just figure, oh, whatever, as opposed to making things better. It's just they'll complain and go along with the wrongdoing and like, whatever, that's the way it is.
Yeah. It's incumbent upon us to do research, to look, to always be in seeking. I think that helps people stay young, stay curious. Look for if this wakes you up to think that maybe insurance company, the big ones, aren't really serving you as well as find a smaller insurance company. Give them, make sure your money, your resources, your time, your attention is spent on things that improve your life where your feet are.
Right.
In all ways. And that's right living.
And that is right living and supporting yourself in a way where you can do that.
And you're an example to others.
Everybody thinks the cavalry is coming. Everybody thinks the government's going to take care of us. Right. They're not. The government will take care of a certain segment of society, and we will end up paying for it, okay? Some of the problems with insurance are because we pay so much money for illegals in Medicaid and Medicare. It's absurd. And then, the government wants us to take care of people, and we end up not having enough money to take care of ourselves.
Right.
So that's why I think investments in gold and metal and the Colonial Metals Group is so important. I think it's part of the protection that we have for ourselves and for our families.
What I've seen, thousands of times in my career is when someone signs whatever forms are needed for the transaction to happen, there's a lot of angst and fear leading up to that. The minute in their mind they've decided to sign, they start to feel like a champion. Mm-hmm. And so one of my great sayings, I got to get this trademark. Don't anyone steal this. Everything you want in life, everything lies on the other side of fear.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Every single thing. Fear is the guardian of great.
Mm-hmm.
And why wouldn't life design it that way? Mm-hmm. It's not that you have to be smart. You don't have to have a PhD or have gone to the right schools or even graduated school. I think most of it was a good stat maybe 15 years ago. I don't know what it would be today, but most of the millionaires in this country only went to high school.
Yeah.
And made their money from real estate.
Yeah.
Those are self-empowered people. Those are researchers. Those are curious. Those are not necessarily risk takers, but they're willing to live with discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
People in America need to be better living with discomfort. Think of the discomfort.
So spoiled.
Yeah.
We are so spoiled, Paul. I mean, everybody just thinks that, I don't have to take care of myself. And we'll talk about the grid next time.
Yeah.
But everybody just assumes, I'll take care of us. I don't have to worry about it. And you can thank the left and the progressives and all of the inflation, all the money that was put in. Now, Kathy Hochul, she wants to give everybody $300. You can spend it on whatever you want. I mean, give me a break. Why don't we get people out there and explain to them they've got to work hard. They've got to think. They have to get out of bed. They have to fight.
Yeah, they have to fight. And that's how life is created.
Yeah. Not
a fight that's at the expense of someone else.
For
but
yourself.
A fight to overcome. A fight to overcome. You have to, we don't recognize it, right? But I have to fight to get out of this chair because of gravity. Now I'm going to win. Might be a day where I don't win. But everything is a fight to overcome, and that's where we're alive. And that's the breed of humanity. That's what humanity is. On this planet, suffering is served up all day long, and it's your opportunity to overcome suffering, and that's what makes you a champion. And no, they may not have a ticker tape parade for you on Main Street, but you will know yourself so much more if you'll cross over those lines of fear.
Yeah. And everything you want in life lies on the other side of fear. That's Paul Stone, Colonial Metals Group. Okay. And Paul, I'm going to end it here, but I appreciate you talking to me about Danny Penny and courage and decision making. And we're going to continue this.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Okay.